Well, the longest government shutdown in U.S. history might be approaching the end.
And it can't come soon enough as food assistance and air travel face major disruptions.
Yeah, just last week here locally, the Hamilton County Commission unanimously approved the county mayor's resolution allocating $195,000 in unrestricted opioid settlement funds to local food banks.
Joining us this morning to talk about the resolution is Hamilton County Mayor Weston Wamp. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Happy to be with you all.
So a lot of people crossing their fingers right now. There is a chance we could see that government reopen as soon as tomorrow. But in the meantime, we've been hearing from people nationally, statewide, and even locally about having problems putting food on the table. So if you could start off just telling us a little bit about, in general, even before these SNAP benefit issues, what food insecurity has looked like here in Hamilton County. Have you seen any trends over the years, anything like that?
It's something that we've watched very closely. For example, the county supports the state and the federal government as the WIC provider here locally, and so we work closely with the food bank. We've actually budgeted funds for the Chattanooga Food Bank over both the last couple years, but certainly we just went through an unusual period that appears to be on the cusp of ending, a historic shutdown at a federal level. That dysfunction is justified by politics in Washington, but it's really frustrating back home, and so at the beginning of last week, we started working, somewhat surprised that this actually happened, right? That SNAP benefits ended for, in this community, tens of thousands of individuals. And then we worked with Chairman Ken Smith to put an emergency resolution on. And Thursday morning, government usually moves slow. We get frustrated by government moving slow. But in this case, Wednesday night, the commission approved this resolution supporting 9 different agencies locally all over the county. And we had checks delivered Thursday morning. So by government standards, 12-hour turnaround. Some of these organizations didn't even know we were going to fund them. That's how fast we had moved early in the week. And that's just to support our neighbors. We were fortunate to be able to do it with funds that aren't local taxpayer funds. And we're really grateful that these organizations stepped up in a pinch. And even though the government shutdown is ending, the bureaucracy will still likely slow down folks' cards getting reloaded. And so it's important that these food pantries and food banks across the county have what they need.
You mentioned that unanimous vote taken last Wednesday. Leading up to that vote, what were the warning signs that the county commission and your office were flagging as signs that you needed to get involved and help support our local food
Well, it was
banks?
Conversations primarily with the Chattanooga Food Bank, the Snack Pack Ministry that serves probably 4,000 to 5,000 public school students on a weekly basis. They had huge needs being expressed by teachers, principals, community members, and so we stepped up in a pinch there, as I think the public would expect us to do. From both sides of the aisle, people gave us a lot of positive feedback about moving fast and supporting hungry folks, particularly as we enter cold weather. I think there's some things in this country, even amid government shutdowns, that still unite us. And one of them is that we want our neighbors to be fed.
We just had up on your screen there a lot of the local food banks who are getting these funds. You can see the Chattanooga Area Food Bank, the Snack Pack program, among many others. Mayor Wamp, have you been hearing any sorts of feedback from the residents and, how they're feeling in these times of stress and these times of uncertainty about this government shutdown?
Yeah, people don't trust government. I've talked to you all about this before. I don't blame them. I'm doing my stint in government, and then in a few years we'll go back to regular life. But what people want to know is, and I think they feel this at a local and state government level more, they want to know that people in politics aren't just concerned with their own political careers, but they're trying to make decisions that are in the best interest of people. And that seems so basic in a self-governed country. But I think when you see these extended shutdowns in Washington, you do get the feeling, do these people care? Do they understand, that at the end of the day, the drama of politics in Washington doesn't matter back home in places like Sale Creek and Ottawa. We're all trying to raise our families, go to work, make a living, take care of our communities, and this sort of disruption, I think it undermines already low levels of trust. And so what we're trying to do in local government is remind people, whether you like what we're doing or not, we're accessible, we're in it with you, we're going to church with you, our kids go to school with your kids, and they're, honestly trying to be the antithesis in many ways of the federal government, because this extended shutdown where military folks weren't being paid, I think just speaks to, again, this dysfunction in Washington that we don't want to happen at a local level.
Yeah, well, you mentioned the military, and before we let you go here, just really briefly, obviously you are taking part in some Veterans Day celebrations and memorials today. Can you let us know where people can go and watch you give a speech this
Well,
morning?
I don't know that coming to see me will give a speech. In fact, I always feel very inadequate on Veterans Day, and I usually open up by saying that. It's just the role the people of our community have given me. Like everybody else in this community, very patriotic community, I'm extremely grateful. Today's a day of reflection on those who've served and put themselves in harm's way. At the Armory today, inside on Veterans Day, Memorial Day, and other days, we celebrate outside, but we'll gather at the Armory on Holtz Claw today at 11 o'clock. And then before that, if I get there in time, we're dedicating some memorials out in Ottawa at a roundabout that we've dedicated to veterans. And so today, some of our actions are symbolic. What we try to do in county government, we've tripled the size of the Veteran Service Office. We try the other 364 days of the year to not make our service to veterans symbolic, but to make it real. And I think that's a responsibility that we all have, and we're a grateful nation.
All right, Mayor Wamp, thank you so much for your time this morning, talking about those SNAP benefits now partially coming into our area and the assistance to those local food banks on this Veterans Day. We thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right.